Another thing, brothers and sisters, I want to clear up a couple things I said in the last video that I wasn't absolutely clear on. I just want to touch on a couple things. It's actually not Mark 10 verse 9, it's Romans 10 verse 9, where it talks about confess Jesus in your heart and you will be saved and everything. That's a part of the process of being saved. Of course, you got whoever's baptizing you, of course you got to confess that Jesus is Lord. You know what I'm saying? But before that, the completion, you gotta repent, you gotta be baptized. But ultimately, you have to believe, because none of these things mean anything if you don't believe and you don't have a repentant heart, meaning you're broken about the sins you committed, as it says in Acts 2 verse 36, 38, when Peter was addressing the people of Israel, as far as having taken part of having Jesus crucified. You know, so I wanted to address that. Also, I also wanted to touch on this. You know, you read 1 John chapter 4. You test the spirit. You got to be careful, very careful. You know, just because some person acknowledges that Jesus is the Christ, that don't mean he's from the Father neither. You know, there's false prophets, false apostles, false disciples, all. And they, you know, the enemy's trick is try to use love to manipulate people. If you think about what Jim Jones did, he loved the people to manipulate them, have them, and created Jonestown. And what he do? The enemy used them to have all these people killed. So be careful with those who love you, who say they love you in that aspect, you know, because love is a powerful thing. People follow people that love them. We all do. Everybody wants to be loved, but people can use love as a manipulation tool to take advantage of you and manipulate you too. So be very, very, very careful with that. The enemy is very crafty, and he will use that, or that individual or individuals will use that to try to deceive you to go against the word. Remember, I know we called to love one another as believers, but first and foremost, we got to love him first and everything. Of course, we love one another as believers. You can't even be a Christian if you, in that aspect, if you don't love your brothers and sisters. And we all struggle with some form of forgiveness and bitterness and stuff like that, like I touched on yesterday. We all got called to work out our salvation. It says in Philippians, and with fear and trembling, we all working it out to the best of our ability. But once again, to blatantly disregard certain things and you claiming to be this, that, and the third, you got to be careful of such believers like that, you know, in that aspect. That's all I was saying. Anyway, about to get ready to go inside. We're going to have a blessed day. It's cold out here in New York City, and keep all the brothers and sisters in Buffalo in prayers. They got hit with some 14 inches of snow. Keep them in prayer and everything. Keep them in prayer. New York is coming to us soon. So, and I love the snow. I just don't like driving and shoveling no more. You know, shout out to Deacon Blacks. We finally got a snow blower. So I can't wait to play with that bad boy. But anyway, I say all this, brothers and sisters, in love. You know, I'm not one of those that get on here and just I'm not a sin sheriff like I used to be when I was part of the Church of Christ, and shout out to them. I'm not a sin sheriff at all. We all got stuff we need to work on. You know, I'm just bringing it to your attention. Certain things to be very careful of, man. You know, we only got one shot, as the Holy Apostle teach in this life. One shot, and that's it. So, with that being said, I say all this in love, you know, and at the end of the day, love is the greatest. The Bible talks about love covers over a multitude of sins. Jesus said it himself through the Apostle Peter. Peter known as the Rock, you know. Love covers multiple sins. 1 Peter, actually. I forgot what chapter. I think it's chapter 4 off top. But other than that, let's be careful, as always, how we use our social media. You know, let's not bash one another, you know. But when certain people, when they profess to be believers, and I'm not saying they aren't. I mean, you know, when you profess to be a believer, you know, just like, you know, the Bible talks about as iron sharpens iron. Solomon says, one man sharpens one another. When you put certain things out on social media, and most people are ignorant of the scriptures, ignorant of the Father, ignorant of Jesus in that aspect, you know, when you put it out there, it's got to be corrected so people will not be led astray. Got to correct it, bottom line. All right? So, brothers and sisters, have a blessed day. Jesus bless each and every one of you. Have a prosperous day. Always love one another. Always tell your family members, your mother, if you fortunately have your mother, your father, your brothers, sisters, all of them still alive, always call them, tell them you love them. If you can't call them, text them. You can't text them, pray for them, you know. But spend time, spend that energy to do that, all right? It's going to bless you. Jesus bless. Peace.